Hey guys, it's Miss Frizzle and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have something very exciting. A bulletin board. Today is the first episode in a series of videos I am starting called Crochet Color Theory. On today's episode, the first episode, we're going to be exploring crochet gradients, specifically custom gradients that you can do at home without having to find a specific colored gradient yarn. So we are going to be structuring this from level 1 to level 9. Level 1 meaning the very bare minimum 0% gradient, and level 9 being like the smoothest custom gradient ever. If you really want to get the most out of this video, I highly recommend doing swatches and practicing each level of gradient. I really want this to just become a tool in your toolbox, not necessarily a tutorial that you have to rely on over and over if you don't have to. So level 1, we have our first gradient. As you can see, this is barely a gradient. The only thing that you need to be thinking about in step 1 would be the colors that you are choosing. Ideally, if we would want a smoother transition between the two of them, we would want to choose colors that are closer together. When we're looking for colors that are closer together, we're thinking of 3 attributes: hue, value, and chroma. If you want your colors to gradate more smoothly, then you're going to want them to be close in hue, which is their color family, meaning they're both a purple, they're both a green, etc. You want them to be close in value, meaning that they are both about the same darkness or lightness as each other. Or you want them to be close in chroma, meaning they're both really bright colors or they're both really grayed down dull colors. A good example of colors that are going to be easy to create a gradation between is these two. So as you can see, these are both the same hue family, which is green. They also are kind of the same chroma, meaning that they're both more of a dull green. Neither of them are very bright. However, they are different in value. So this is a much lighter value green up top than the more medium value green down below. When you are just on step 1, level 1, and you are just trying to pick 2 colors that you want to create a gradient in between, just keep in mind that you are going to give yourself a way easier job if you choose colors that are closer together instead of colors that are farther apart. But this wouldn't be a good tutorial without a challenge. So what we're going to do is go forward with the next 8 steps of our gradient using the more challenging combination, just to make sure that I'm really setting you guys up for success. All right, first gradient, pinned to the bulletin board. Okay, I know she's kind of stuck behind me there, but it'll look good eventually. Our step 2 gradient is where we introduce the color switching transition. So step 2, our color switching pattern is going to look like this. I'm just using half double crochets here, and we have as many rows as you want of your solid colors, and then we have our transition phase here. So the transition phase that I recommend just as a base level for all of your gradient transitions is to have an A color and a B color. Let's say that this is our A color and this is our B color. So that transition period is always going to look like 1B, 2A, 2B, 1A. And then you can replace that later with 1C, 2B, 2C, 1B, etc. It might seem a little bit like you're throwing letters at me. This is a lot. This feels like I'm in algebra again. Don't worry. Once you actually sit down and you do this, it just makes so much more sense in your brain, which is why I highly recommend making these swatches yourself, either while you're watching this video or after the fact. I promise you it'll be so helpful. But as you can see, this isn't really that much better of a gradation than we have behind us. It is slightly better, but it's basically just adding stripes, which is why we need to add another technique in our level 3 gradient. So our level 3 gradient looks like this. As you can see in level 3, we're using the exact same color switching technique as before. Nothing has really changed except for the type of stitch that we are using. You do not have to use this stitch if you want to create a gradient. It is not like a complete necessity. However, I'm telling you now, this stitch is going to make your gradients look much better. It's just gonna make them look better. So if you want them to look the best possible, I recommend using this stitch, which is, drum roll please, if you couldn't tell already, moss stitch. It just creates these dots instead of a straight stripe. So it's just going to add to the smoothness of our transition. For those of you who don't know, moss stitch is a combination of single crochets and chaining. It is super easy even for beginners. So if you've never heard of it before, if it sounds super intimidating, do not worry. I promise you, pinky promise you, it is very easy. And I'm going to include a more in-depth tutorial by another YouTuber in the description below for those of you who have never tried moss stitch before and want to make sure that you're doing it the right way. I actually love that the camera is out of focus back here because I feel like it actually really helps to kind of blur your eyes and give you an example of how much better these blend. So level 4 is basically just an extension of level 3. So if you really want to go above and beyond with your color switching method and you only want to use the 2 colors that you picked out at the beginning, you can extend that transition and make it even smoother by adding in as many extra repeats of the OG color switching pattern. So the pattern for this one in particular would be 5A, 1B, 4A, 1B, 2A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 1A, 2B, 1A, 4B, 1A, 5B. So this is just an example of how you can kind of take the exact same pattern that we're learning and expand it as much as you would like in order to create a smoother and smoother gradient. Okay, level 5, we're officially halfway through. Notice anything a little bit different? So level 5 is when we start transitioning into a new technique, which is carrying 2 yarns at once and physically mixing them together in the middle. So basically what we have here is the same thing as our level 3, except we have now added a 3rd color in between, except that 3rd color is literally just these 2 colors carried together. So I'm carrying 2 strands of our color A here, 1 strand of each in the middle, and then 2 strands at once of the color B over here. And I am just following that same transition technique. And what this is doing is it's literally just mixing the colors together. It's going to be able to add a level of visual mixing that is a lot harder to achieve with just the rows of stitches. So this is another fantastic way to get a mix if you only are using 2 different colors and you really want to push that blending power to the limit. So this is kind of like the final boss of what you can do with just 2 different colors of yarn. So for our level 6, this is where we start introducing more colors of yarn. What we have here is a 3rd color of yarn in between our 2 OG colors. If you are using any 2 opposite colors like I am, the color that you want to put right in between them is almost always going to be brown. If you're not sure what color sits perfectly in between your 2 opposites, I highly recommend consulting a color wheel. If you look at a color wheel and you mark down your 2 colors on that color wheel and draw a straight line in between them, your middle color for your gradient will also be whatever color is on the very center of that line. This is definitely a method that is meant for people who have a larger selection of colors or who are looking to order yarn. So I understand that not everyone has unlimited colors sitting around to choose from, but this is a tutorial meant for pushing the maximum limit of what we can do with yarn. So whatever your personal means are, we're pretending that all possibilities are with us in the room and that we have all colors at our disposal. As you can see, my swatches were not planned in terms of their actual sizing because I was lazy and I just wanted to make the swatches and not think about it. So they're all going to be different sizes. I hope that doesn't bother you. If you haven't already guessed what our natural progression for our level 7 gradient will be, here you go. Yup. Pull in 2 colors of yarn at once, except now we have our 3rd color. So we have solid A and B, solid B, B and C, and solid C. Now, obviously, we were calling this A and this B before, but I like to always just label them in order of appearance. So in a situation where we have 3 different colors of yarn, the brown is now our B and the purple has become C because it's last. But yeah, this gives us even more of a smooth gradient because we are essentially creating 2 extra colors to add to our flow between the 2 opposites. But as you can see, it is also much longer than our other swatches. The more room you give yourself within your project to create the gradient, the better the gradient is going to look. For all of these samples, I'm using fingering weight yarn, which is 4 threads thick for the hobby cotton. So when I use 2 of them together, it's the equivalent of a DK weight yarn. If you would want to make something where you are pulling 2 colors at once, but you want it to create a smaller garment, then I would recommend using a lace weight yarn, which would be 2 threads thick, I believe, if you're using the hobby cotton like I am. So that would essentially have the size of this swatch, making it a lot more doable for smaller projects if that is what you're trying to use this for. In a perfect world where we all have access to as many colors as we need, the next possible level that we can go with the gradient is going to be by adding 2 more colors. So now we have a color A, B, C, D, and E. In order to find your 2 extra colors, all we're going to do is pull a color that is halfway in between your middle one and one end, and halfway between your middle one and the other end. One of the downsides that can happen when you are adding more and more colors to create a smoother and smoother gradient is that you start to have some of these colors compete visually with your original ones. So we have a lot more orange and a lot more of a brown than we ever did in our beginning stages. So if you really want that yellow and purple or whatever your two OG colors are to come back into the spotlight, just make larger solid areas of them and you will bring them back to the forefront of the project. You would think that would be the last level, but I had to just go above and beyond and be a little bit ridiculous. Ready for the grand reveal? Level 9. The biggest swatch ever. I also made this one thicker so that it'd be easier for you guys to really see that gradient. But look at her. Look at her. She's gorgeous. This could be you. It is gonna be you after this video, actually. So if you couldn't tell already, based on the logic we've been using on all of our swatches back there, this is using all 5 colors of yarn and 2 strands at once so that we can have a transition period between each one. So we have double A, B, double B, C, double C, D, double D, E, and double E. So we get a total of 5 solid colors and 4 of the combo colors, which, as I said before, requires quite a bit of space in order to include that into your project. So as you can imagine, if you were to do this with chunkier yarn, or maybe you want to really push the limits and carry 3 yarns at once and have transition phases where you have like AAA, AAB, ABB, BBB, like you could literally take this concept and run with it if you want to. You can only imagine how smooth this could get on a blanket, like, oh my God. But yeah, this is our final result. I had so much fun making these freaking swatches. Let me just put this last one up so we can really admire them from afar. Get out the pillow. Ah! Our final swatch is so big it doesn't even, it's like going past the bulletin board. But this is what we have. Let me bring it closer to you guys so you guys can actually view it like in focus. Thumbnail moment, wait, let's pose. But yeah, as you can see, the possibilities of creating your own gradient with this technique are endless. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was so fun. I am super excited to see you guys on future episodes of Crochet Color Theory. And if you have any particular topics when it comes to Crochet Color Theory that you would like me to talk about in the next installment, let me know in the comments below. I am super excited to keep doing this with you guys. Anyways, I love you so much and happy crocheting and happy holidays. Bye.